Hey guys, my name is Mohammed Asher and I make tech videos. So in this particular video, we'll be learning how to implement Firebase into your app inventor or Thunkable applications, and also implementing notifications. So basically, that particular component is not on the default section or default UI element on those two app creators. So we'll be learning how to implement those and how to integrate Firebase or cloud integration onto your application. So for this, for those of you who don't know what Thunkable is basically just this tutorial applies for both, whether you're using AI2 or App Inventor 2 or Thunkable. It works on both, but Thunkable is my suggestion because it has the latest SDK that supports material design. Basically, starting from Android Lollipop, it has all those UI elements there. So I suggest you guys take a look at those. It's a Thunkable, and also is the other thing is the notifications part. Oh yeah, something that I wanted to add for my subscribers out there is that I know it's been quite some time since I've uploaded a video. I've been having some quite hard time now with freelancing and like upgrading my PC itself because it's been like a long time ever since I started this channel. It's been the same old computer, so I think I've just like there's a due upgrade here. But anyways. So here's what you have to do. First of all, go to Google, Firebase.google.com and log into this website. I'll probably have a link to this in the description, but hey, Firebase.google.com, you can't remember that, huh? And then Thunkable.com. And the next one is these. I'll link these three websites in the description. Now, this particular website, PureVideoApps.com, has a lot of other extensions. You want to go check those out. This particular one is the one we need because this is not included on the default UI element. So as soon as you go log in, I'm going to go create a new app here. I'm going to call it like tutorial. I'm gonna give you guys something here. I already downloaded this Pura Vida notifications. If you don't know where to find those, you go down to the download section. If you want to get donated, you can see a lot of extensions. I really think if you want to consider donating to them, you can by all means. So there's something called download typhoon notifications, the AIX file. You want to go ahead and download that. Please be sure you're downloading the EIX, not the EIA file. EIA is the source file, the project file itself, which we don't need. Uh, you want to go down to extension. Like, hold on, guys, I just want to close this part here. Like, the part. Come on, man. Oh, yeah. So, now what you're going to do is, there's something. I'm going to just push this thing here. Alright. So, the title, I'm just gonna make it look decent here. Like Hello World. This is not a Hello World application though. I'm gonna go down to extensions, import extension, and where's the file here? You wanna drag and drop the AIX file. If you don't know what the other thing is, AIA file, that's an extension to this tutorial. I'll talk about that a little later. I'll be giving you guys that as well on Google Drive. Yeah. So I guess as soon as you do that, it'll just take a couple of minutes or so, and once that gets uploaded, it'll ask you to give some name to it. So import, for example, you import any extension from outside, you can give a custom name to that extension. Until then, let's go ahead and build some things out here. The first thing I will want to do is I will have a label that is, I'm gonna go ahead and make it like 24, and then I'm gonna make it HTML format. If you want to, you can do that. Text appears here. Sorry. Oops. Yeah. Notification. You can give it any name you want. I'm just gonna call it notification. Taking on the label. I'm gonna call it text appears here. This is the initial text, but you can go ahead and do anything you want. I'm gonna put this thing here. Out of the layout, just to keep things more neat, I'm just gonna go ahead and put any one of these horizontal or vertical arrangement and drag and drop the label inside here. And on the horizontal arrangement, I'm gonna set the background color as none and the height as automatic, I guess. Width, I'm gonna set as a fill parent. And you can see that our line horizontal is on the center, which means any element that's put inside this arrangement will be on the center. So I'm also gonna select the align vertical as center, and the width. I just want to keep it a little more like no, 75 percentage. I guess will be cool. Uh, oh, sorry, not width, height. So filter the height and the width. This is just to make it look big, cause this is the only important part of the whole application. You can actually go ahead and select default typeface as whatever you want. I'm gonna keep it like a thin text here because it kind of looks cool for some people and not for me. So I'm gonna have like a another horizontal arrangement, which is the place where people will. I'm gonna select the width as think, like filter and the height is automatic. I guess automatic because once I start adding elements, it will just start. The height will adjust itself. So background color as none. User interface, we're gonna have two elements. One is the like a text box. He's gonna enter his text, and before that, I want I want to select the horizontal arrangement and select line horizontal as left. The reason is because I want the button, the button and the text for them to enter a message, and that will be pushed onto the Firebase cloud storage. And that the once updated, if anybody wants to change that message, can actually type in the message and select update, and that message will be updated on the Firebase, and everything takes place in real time. So. Something to remember here is it's very similar. If you go to down to the storage, you find something that says file. You can also store your user um, submissions on a file or on a TinyDB. TinyDB is on the local storage on your phone itself. It doesn't store on the cloud. And there's something called TinyWebDB, which is what was used before Firebase. You want to go down to the experimental here with the drag and drop the Firebase. It says something here. It for whatever we're doing now, it's okay. Just click on OK. Okay, now we've got to finish the user interface. I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop the button here right next to the text box or the input box. And at the button here, I'm just going to go push this camera here. And on the button here, we select update as the thing here. And the width to be full parent. Alright. And I'm gonna go ahead and select this thing here, and the hint is type in your message. So we expect, so we say the user what are we expecting from them, and when I'm gonna go and select the whole screen itself, and then I'm gonna say this is scrollable because sometimes they're gonna be a long text here, then it'll scroll down instead of just staying in one particular part here. I'm also going to go ahead and select that as a responsive versus that screen orientation as portrait. And if you want to specify that, you can do that as well. And then open, I'll leave that as default. Sizing is responsive. Uh, if, for me, there's nothing much here, but it might vary in your case. So you can have the icon and everything else by yourself. This is my app. Alright, well, I'm going to do that. Just type in that. So the first thing is, the next thing I'm going to go to Firebase here. Log into your database here. I'm sorry, log into our account. I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. And give it some any name you want here. I'm going to call it Hayes. Alright. Country region is depending on what you want the server to be, I guess. So like India, that's because that's where I am from. We go ahead and create project, and so once I select that, alright, so you want to download this. I guess the notifications is important now. If I go to the extension, I guess I'll find my notification there. Okay, just keep it there. We'll come back to that one. Alright, so this is going to take some time, I guess. Okay, come on. Alright, so this is the screen that you'll see here. I want you guys to go down to database, and this is where we'll find all the data that is submitted to our database. Yeah. So first thing here is that you want to go down to, I guess, authentication, and then you want to go signing method here, and you want to select the anonymous as enable, because in this particular app, this tutorial, all we're gonna do is we're gonna allow users to just submit to this database and view that on their app itself. So we don't need anybody to sign in for that. I'm going to disable authentication just to keep things very simple. And we're going to copy this URL, go to Thunkable, click on this under this non-visible component, you see Firebase DB here, click on that. And on the Firebase URL, just go ahead and select default and click on this. Okay, now as soon as you put in your URL, the use default will just get away and just keep that and click on persist. Now persist is going to be persisting that data on your phone even when you close it. So if you don't do that, it's pretty much like your cache memory, or once you close out of the app, that data is gone. That's kind of what persist data is. On the project bucket, it's like this. Okay, I'm on the console. Okay, so everything in your database, for example, anything in an application, let's say Facebook, if somebody's gonna, or say Instagram, and in Instagram, you submit a photo, there's a photo, and there's a location, there's a caption, and there's a comments, and there's a lot of things. So these are the kinds of things that goes into one kind of item called post. So those things are categorized under one category called post. And under post, you have different data. Like one is a comment, one is the picture, and all of these are filled, populated with data. So these things I'm put under a bucket here. I'm going to call that as a post. So anything that the user is going to be putting on my app, it's going to go under the post kind of data. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Once we're done with that, we've now integrated our Thunkable app with our Firebase console. But there's one more thing left. If you go down to the rules here, we need to select this as read as true and write as true. All right. And the reason you want to do that is only when you actually do this, you'll be having access to store and read data from your app itself, because otherwise you need authentication and stuff like that, which this is not recommended once you publish your app. You want to check the documentation out for how to click on learn more and check out what permissions you actually need. You need to be cautious about that. So yeah, for now let's click on just go to under the read write, just say true. That'll be enough. Go to block section now, and this is where the visual programming begins. We're gonna go ahead and store the data out onto our database. So first thing we want to know is what the button one. What is the button one? The button one. Let's go ahead and name this for easy sake. So I'm gonna go ahead and rename this file here. First of all, I'm gonna call this as update button. Now I have the text box is the update text. Alright, and then the blocks. I say when the update button is clicked, I want the yeah, to store a value. All right, and we're gonna store a value. Then what's the value that we're gonna store? When the update button is clicked, whatever goes inside this will be stored there. And what is the kind of value that is here? That's some kind of a message. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and type in text here, and I just want to have a text here like this one. All right. You can find this under text here. I guess you can find it somewhere over here. Yeah, over there. So if you want to drag and drop it, just my preferred method is I just go ahead and type things on and do it just kind of easy. So I'm just gonna type in messenger, and that's going to be going under the tag. Now remember, message is the kind of like a variable. For example, you'll have a pizza, but that is a food. So even if the person is going to type in pizza here, all these are foods that you want to store there. So the value that you're going to store is different. The tag that you're going to give is how you're going to retrieve. That's how you're going to call internally, and that is how you're going to program the app. With that name, will you be referring in the blocks section of your app? So we're going to give that our data name as messenger, and the value that you're going to store is whatever is entered on the update text dot text. So that's going to store the value that's there. And if you want to go test it out now, it will actually work, but you're not going to be seeing anything on this part here because it's just going and storing on the database. But that's not what we want to do here. What we want to do here is also retrieve that data and put it onto this UI element, which is UI is this part, and this is the UI element. That's the label, and this is oh wait. So this is the part where I want to rename this part here. Say the result text, type of result, and this is where my result will be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Firebase DB here, and I'm going to go up here and say data changed. What is data change? Now, if you go test it out, and if you say some data, you'll see something like yeah. So under the project bucket here, you'll find something like post under this, and inside that you will find your message. A message inside that you will find the your message there. So kind of that. So what we're gonna do is when do we want the app to update, or when do we want the Firebase to go first from the database? Uh, that is when there's a change on the database. We want to get that value and put that onto the UI element. So that's what we're going to do here. So when the Firebase is sensing some change onto the database, that detects uh, in real time. You don't have to close the app and open the app always. So we want to go here and you want to say when the data is changed here. I'm gonna open up the if. Excuse me, if we're gonna have an if statement here. So we're going to when the data is received, we're gonna have a compare texture. Or, no, like where's control? Okay, logic. Okay, with this particular block here, we're gonna go ahead and drag and drop this inside if. I'll tell you what you want to do here. You're gonna get the tag of whatever there's some data change, right? There's some post or maybe a user details that change. Whatever data that is changed there, we want to get that tag. It might be a post. Okay, the post, there's a change in that post data element. Now let's check if that is equal to message, because that is the tag that we have saved here. That's the tag name. And now the tag that is changed, is that message? Okay, if that is the messenger, then we want to update the label here, result. Okay, you want to set the result text to the value that you get. The value is what is inside the messenger. So if you want to test it out, you can test it. But the tutorial also says you guys that we'll be also implementing notification. So when you're gonna go to the extension here and drag and drop the notifications, you want to go ahead and add your own application icon. Um, if you want to just play around with notification like suppress sound and stuff like that, you can do that. I think the only thing that's important here is the icon here. Anyways, to me, now what you want to do is go to the notification, and the only thing that you probably want here is the notification to send this particular block here. Just drag and drop it. So which means that when there is an update here, you want to have a notification from prompting from your app. So what will happen is uh, so we tap on the notification, it will open this app. So what is the how many time delay do you want? I'm gonna open up a number right here, and I don't want any delay here. Probably a maximum of 0.5 seconds delay, and we're gonna have like a title as some text here. Say a new message uh, from your app. I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop that, and under the text, what is the text? What is that? The bottom here, we're gonna have the okay, new message here. Probably we're gonna tap here to check it out. I don't know what start text is, to be honest with you, because I think what it says is from the initialization. I actually read this part here. I couldn't understand what this. The text is provided after restarting the app and put start text block. I don't know what that means. What I do is just simply drag and drop it because I don't see this result anywhere. I don't know what start text is. For me, what matters is the title, text, and the icon. You can test. You can change it there itself. So with that, I guess our tutorial is kind of over. So we're gonna test it out. My favorite way to test things out is using the QR code. Uh, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open my barcode scanner and test things out. And you guys can check it out on the Firebase console. But hold on a second, guys. Um, Let me install the app and then open up the Firebase console. Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and type in the message here, like hello, and go click on update. Alright, so there you go. You can see a notification that says news messenger, and then it gives me a notification there. You can see on the update, I click on a message is hello. So this is the project bucket, and this is the tag, and this is the message that goes inside it. So I also implemented notifications, and it's kind of cool, right? So hello. So if I'm gonna change anything here, like hi guys, I'm clicking on update here, and you can see uh, that updating over there. So that's pretty much how things work. So yeah. Now, what else do we need? Yeah, I guess that's it about it. Now, one thing to remember is right now, Epic Matter Thunkable. As of right now, I don't know. Maybe Thunkable improves later on, but as of the date that I'm recording this video, I want to check the date out. App Inventor or or the Firebase does not allow you to store images or kind of stuff like that on Firebase. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can try to do that later on. I don't know. I just saw some forum posts saying that they're working on it. I don't know. So if you can do that, you can just instead of getting text or uploading text, you can directly upload images if that's applicable in your case, in your time. Or other thing you can do is you can use the other thing here called Cloudinary DB. Any web database that you use, it has the same working methodology as you see here. There's a tag and there's a value. Even if you use the tiny WebDB, the blocks editor, it works very similar to this. Now here's something assignment here. If you actually can go to the app section here and go to not import key store. You want to go and upload app project AIA from a computer, and I'll give you guys this file here. Now what this file does is it's quite interesting here. What that particular uh, file would do is you can okay, so this particular app allows you to interact with the database. Anybody who has the app can update the data, and everybody sees the stages here. But what if you want something personalized? For example, everybody has a room name. So, for example, Hayes is a room name. Inside that, I can start typing messages, and anybody who types in like Hayes will see those messages. So you can have a number of rooms, and all those rooms have a different message or sessions that are going on. So this is kind of like your instant messenger, but here's something that you might also want to learn. Okay, but right now we learned how to like store data and put it on the database. But what if you want to have a list of items? You might think, okay, let's go to the list here and then do that stuff, which I guess you can. But the actual thing that you might be looking for is to, like what'll happen is the next time you want to store any element, it overwrites this data, right? So you might be looking, okay, I want to have another item here. If you want to do that, you want to go down to the Firebase DB here and look for something called Firebase append value instead of store value. What that will do is you want to do the same thing here. Is you want to also have, like, for example, oops, let me go to the Firebase DB and append value. Go to the, you want to also open up the join section and like open up text here like this /t, join that and update text and the message is append value. If you do this, okay, what I'll do is it will not overwrite the old section or over old data. So append the values in that particular project bucket. Okay. So inside the message, you're going to see a series of messages, and those will not overwrite. Now, you want to remember, like, if you want to have the HTML, if you select the HTML5 compatible HTML format, I guess, I don't know, but I think if you type in BR, it goes to the next line, and you can have all kinds of crazy stuff. Okay, so that's it about it. Oh, you can open up my project here, which is this. I'll give you guys a link to this in the description. And something else that you guys can also play around with is you saw how to input a text and put on the database. Maybe you guys can try putting fetching values for things like you can use some AI elements, artificial intelligence elements, and storing this in a database and try to like if you see these kind of results, then you can cater the content according to that, or something like these data or text is just things that like input, so they're stored on the database, but that's kind of it's all up to your imagination. So everything is up to you guys. So I'll leave this here, and that's about it. And you can also go check out extensions here if you want to check out other extensions and play around with other elements that Thunkable doesn't actually give you. So yeah, some of these are paid, by the way. It's called pewtervideoapps.com, and you want to check that out. So that's it for this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe. Visit my website and I'll share that in. And I should see you guys in another video very soon. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.